Well, hello, and welcome to another episode of Three Crones and the Woo Woo. I am one of your Crone hosts. My name is Gayle Nicholson, and I am with Creative Command Coaching and Consulting. To my side, I have Ms. Krista Ducharme with Dimensional Healing with Krista on Facebook. And of course, as always, supporting us from below, we have Damaris Samolinski with Ask the Genie with Damaris Samolinski. Hello, ladies. How is your day going?
It's going great over here.
Awesome. I'm having a great day. I'm having a productive day.
Oh, good. Productive is good.
I am having a productive day. But I'll tell you, Mercury has been playing lots of fun with me this week.
How are you feeling, Gayle?
And today, it's like retrograding back into Virgo. So not only is it messing with us, it's pissing me off. It's pissing me right off. We've had so many, silly little technical snafus, including the fact that this episode will not be recorded. So Tag your friends, tag your people right now that don't, watch it during its live incarnation and tend to watch it on the replay, because there ain't going to be one this time.
No replay, and let them know, send it out that there's going to be no replay. I'm going to do my best to get that information out, but it helps if y'all help us.
Yes, please. So it's been quite the interesting week. I think I know Damaris is going to fill us in on all of that in a little bit, because we've got the new moon in Libra coming up. We've got, Mercury retrograding back out of Libra into Virgo.
Actually, and then it's in Virgo. It's going into Libra.
Oh, is that what it's?
Yeah.
Is that what it's doing? Because that's not what I understood from my calendar today. But you know better than I do. I'm just, whatever they say, all right, I buy it. No problem.
Because I'll talk about that. We have like a conjunction going on in Libra. So I'm going to talk about that.
Gotcha. All right, cool. So there's a lot to talk about this week. Not the least of which is the passing of the Queen and the ceremony of her funeral.
That was yesterday, right?
Yeah, that was yesterday.
Yeah.
Yep. And I don't know all of the ins and outs, but I was sitting there talking to my sister about it, and I said, you can bet that every single item that we have been watching for 5 hours or however long it went, there was a reason for each and everything. And this was ritual from beginning to end.
I agree.
Yep, right.
And it was. I didn't watch all of it. We were watching a bit of it last night because we had it recorded, that DVR thing. It's pretty kind of awesome still. And so Kevin and I were sitting and watching it for a little while. And the ritual of the entire event is enormous. And, and all these things and how they play out, and, all just getting the service members that they had come in from the other countries alone. Holy mackerel. And so New Zealand came, Australia came, the Pacific Islands, the Caribbean islands. I mean, all these individuals just came, and the hours that they've traveled, it just.
Yeah, leaders from around the world, right? Prime Minister, President.
Well, but there's a distinction here, right? Yeah. So they had military personnel from around the world that came in to represent their regiments or whatever organization they were part of. Yeah. And then there were the leaders from around the world, the presidents, like Biden was there and waited like 14 hours to give his respects or something like that.
That's crazy.
And that was a short line. That was a short line. It wasn't like Biden was waiting at Trafalgar Square in the queue. He was, you know what I mean? So there were people that were waiting, literally standing online for 24 hours. I have friends in England that, were kind of like reporting as they got up to a certain point. And the lady, one of my friends was like, hey, I just got my wristband. They say it's 7 hours from here.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
the last,
I would have been
the
there
last
myself
person,
if I could have been.
The last person that
What?
went through waited 30 hours.
That's crazy.
But
that's crazy.
It's a once in a lifetime thing that will never,
Yeah.
no one will ever see the like again, ever.
No.
Yeah.
And she is the longest reigning monarch.
Yes. 50 years.
In history. 70.
70 years.
70?
70
Yeah.
years.
She took the crown at the age of 26. She ruled for 70 years. She is the
70.
longest
Yeah.
serving monarch in British history.
Yeah. In any
Queen
history.
Victoria.
Yeah.
Global history.
Yeah.
All history. She is the longest reign. She was the longest reigning monarch. And and honestly, I don't know if anybody else is gonna surpass that ever, because it's just that was pretty intense. Or it was pretty neat. But so there's lots and lots of stuff. I didn't watch all of it, like I said. Kevin actually was kind of funny. He comes home, he goes, you don't have the Queen's funeral on. I'm like, I've been busy.
I was very grateful that I walked into work yesterday and they had it on. We couldn't really hear anything, but it just, it means a lot to me.
It means, no, me too.
Yeah. So, but I don't know that I saw any impact of Mercury retrograde in what happened with the Queen's funeral, but they've been planning that for literally decades.
Yeah.
And updating things and so on. So it was from over here flawless, except for that one poor guy that fainted off the DS.
Oh yes, I saw that.
Yeah, face planted. It was awful.
Oh.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. And of course, in our news over here, they're like, did that other guy trip him?
No.
Leave it to the Americans to look for nefarious stuff going on. No, he just locked his knees and forward. So yeah. So
and that happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. It does. So thank you everyone for sharing this out and letting people know that there's not going to be any recording of this broadcast today. We'll get everything all fixed up and handled later, I'm sure of it. But yeah, at this point right now, everything's kind of wonky. However, we do have all of the normal things that we normally do have, like Damaris's intro.
Awesome. So, we're welcoming Libra, on the 22nd. So it's going to be the month of Libra. We're going to be, celebrating birthdays for Libra. We also have the equinox tomorrow, starting tomorrow, the fall equinox. And we're going to have Mercury retrograde in Libra conjunct the sun. So that with the equinox. So that's powerful energies right there. And it's about, reevaluating ourselves. It's about taking almost like a break, so to speak, and looking at the past, so it's almost, I always say it's almost like a life review, looking at our past, actions and how we did things, and sort of like also getting ready when it goes direct on October 2nd to orient ourselves towards the future. So this is a time also not to sign, legal documents, not to buy major, big items. It's really about a time to reflect on our lives and ourselves and our relationships, because Libra has to do all with relationships. Libra is also, the scales of justice. So anything that we have to balance in that department, whether is if we were unjust to someone or they were unjust to us, also has to do with legal stuff, just balancing those things during this time. Libra goes, Mercury goes direct on the 2nd of October, but we have the shadow phase until the 17th. So it's, it's going to be a while since we're going to have these energies going. I say lay low for a little bit, God bless. Lay low for a little bit, because those energies create misunderstandings, confusions. Sometimes you say something and people don't take it the right way. We've had that, Gayle and I, at the beginning of this Mercury retrograde. So it's just laying low, I think, for a little bit until we go into the direct phase of that. So we also have the new moon in Libra on the 25th. So there's a lot going on in Libra, again, balance, balancing things, balancing, stuff for ourselves. And also it's planetarily too, it's collective as well. So yikes, there's a lot of work to do, I guess, inner work, going inward, and balancing ourselves too. Also, how we've been behaving, our attitudes, our way of seeing things, that also needs to be worked through, if you will. You guys have anything to add?
Well, yeah, we do have my birthday coming up on Sunday, so
Yes. That is a really important thing to add. And we just had Damaris's birthday, and so I'm going to be lucky. I'm the one who doesn't have my birthday in Mercury retrograde.
Right.
So
but yours is coming up too. When is yours?
I'm the end of October. But I'm thinking about this, and as the two of you, we're doing this retrograding, and of course we've had hiccups, whether it's the three of us, whether it's individually. I mean, there have been things that have hiccuped. I was just sharing with Damaris before we went on. We have this huge meal planned for a very high-ranking officer who's coming, and it was part of we donated it. We and another couple donated a traditional American Thanksgiving, and for an auction for a charity event. And this high-ranking official with his wife won, which is wonderful. That's what it was supposed to be. They're from Germany. We were hoping it was going to be something like this, right? And I put in an order for turkeys. Put in my order for turkeys back in May. Went in yesterday because 3 weeks ago, confirmed before Mercury went into retrograde. How are my turkeys? You're on the board. We'll have them for you. No problem. Went in yesterday. Just got back from Greece. How are my turkeys? Where are my turkeys? What turkeys?
Oh my goodness.
What turkeys? I'm like, WTF? We just had this conversation 3 weeks ago. My name is on the board. I'm like, seriously, people, this is not Krista on a whim wanting to have a turkey. Frankly, if I don't have turkey, I'm okay. This is an important thing. And I'm trying really hard not to go hysterical and be a Karen, right? Here I am trying not to be a Karen and being hysterical. So I'm like taking deep breaths. Okay, it's going to be okay. Just riding the wave, Krista, riding the wave. This is Mercury retrograde. It's all about communication. Yeah. Ride the wave, ride the wave.
Yep. And when is the dinner supposed to be?
They are coming. They'll be here tomorrow.
The turkeys.
Still frozen, but
the turkeys are going to be there tomorrow.
Yeah, the turkeys will be. I get to go pick them up tomorrow. They'll be frozen. They're supposed to be in a cooler right now. I was like, can you call and tell them to put them in the cooler? But they're driving to a different base to get the turkeys to bring them. I'm like, y'all, seriously.
Wow. It'll work out. It'll work out.
But that it's all the thing, the point, not just because it's, comedy of a turkey, but the point being is it's about communication. When you think those things are all lined up, it is about communication. The other thing, is that I'm also finding with this particular Mercury retrograde, and I don't know if you two are finding it, I am being driven to complete things that I started. I mean, it's like, I mean, driven. Like you got
Yeah.
get your shit together.
You're too funny, Krista. Yeah, you know, with this retrograde. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Gayle.
Well, I was just gonna say, yeah, there's some projects that I'm like, I wake up in the morning like I gotta attack this today. I got, being so kind of driven to complete things. But the first thing that came to mind when you said that was I have had people from my past falling out of the rafters. Yeah, out of the woodwork, literally. People that from 35 years ago.
Whoa.
Hey, I'm gonna be in your town next week, let's do lunch, and getting together with them. And then yesterday at work, somebody else that I used to hang out with came in, and it was like, hi, you and your mother, what's going on with your life? And it was so I've been having all of these little messengers from the past that have been showing up. So again, kind of completion stuff, full circle stuff.
Yes.
In that.
Definitely.
But being that my birthday is on the cusp of Virgo and Libra, and like Joanne just said, and that's what I was trying to think of earlier, is that while in retrograde, Mercury is going to re-enter Virgo on the 23rd on equinox, essentially, right? So I have this Virgo Libra cusp, and this Mercury retrograde is just like,
and it's like going back into Libra. It's going back into Libra too. So
yes, it will. It'll bounce back and forth before it comes back out again by the 2nd, right? So
October 2nd,
yeah. So it's right now it's just I feel like this whole weird it's just coming at me from all angles. There's the part of it that's the Virgo part of the communication, like things have to be accurate and what you're saying and what you're doing. And then the other part of it is like just kind of going with the flow, like it's not going to be accurate, so make room for that. And a friend of mine was supposed to get married yesterday, and her entire world just blew up. The minister got COVID. I got called into work and couldn't do her makeup. And the woman that came up to stand up for the husband, her transmission blew up, and now she's got to have her car towed back to Connecticut. I mean, it's just,
oh my gosh,
it's kind of nasty around here.
People that are aware should just look at when they're going to get married, should look at when Mercury will be in retrograde and not pick those dates. Really, right?
Yeah. Well, all the way along, I have been kind of like low key. I don't understand why you're getting married. I don't understand why you're getting married when you're getting married. And I couldn't find a way to say that diplomatically.
Sometimes you can't, because some people don't understand.
And sometimes they just need to go through that journey. And that's sometimes when I sit there and I go, okay, I really, and it's hard when it's somebody who you really, really, really care about, and you're like, why do I have to have super glue on my lips at the moment and I can't say anything? Every time you go, have you ever had that where your guides are giving you information and you want to go and say something, and then it's like, oh no, that's for you to know and not say anything about?
It's not good to say, especially with the retrograde. People might not take it the way
exactly,
and it could blow up. I married someone a few years ago during a retrograde, because I'm a reverend and minister, and I'm close to the groom. I was close to the groom, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, you're picking a Mercury retrograde kind of wedding, and this is going to have turbulence for you. Sure enough, they had a lot of turbulence with the in-laws because they were going to live with his mom for a while. and it was chaos for months. And I was like, that's all part of that wedding during the retrograde, you know, but now they're good. But it was a lot of turbulence, you know. But, you know, with this energy also, it's almost like you have a foot on the gas and a foot on the brake. So it's like, you know, it's like you shouldn't really jump into anything. You should just wait, reevaluate everything, and then jump afterwards. It's the best, you know, suggestion, I guess.
Can you remind me again, when did Mercury go into retrograde this time?
I believe it was about, and I'm forgetting, but maybe like a week and a half ago.
Okay, this is just freaking me out now.
Yeah,
my orange juice disappeared.
It was right when we had our thing. Was it like a week and a half, maybe?
Yes, it was. Yeah, because it was. I was trying to get stuff done before I left.
Yes, yes, it was right there. I mean, I think Mercury had gone into retrograde like a day before we had our thing going. Yeah. But the number 8, I love the number 8. Is a very, you know, is an executive number. It's hard work. It's about commitment, dedication. And I want to focus on the word commitment because a lot of us want to reach our goal and be successful, but then we're not committed. I'm guilty of that as well. So it's about a lot of commitment and dedication and focus, tunnel vision kind of thing. It's a number that, will lead to success, but we have to stay on the mark, so to speak, on the path until we get to that, goal, until we reach it. It's a very powerful number. It's a number of infinity, infinite possibilities, infinite potential. So yeah, and actually right now with the energies going on, it's also looking at those possibilities, looking at the potential, and looking to see, again, where the future is headed after the October 2nd, I would say, date. Especially like with us, we're working on something for the future. So it's about, focusing on those things right now, if we can. And then after the retrograde is over, then just, coming out with it, even if it's just among the 3 of us.
Right. Right. Absolutely. I want to point, I want to directly respond to this comment from Tracy, because I think, Tracy, if I'm right, you're talking about when you came and visited me, and that was not an issue. You are not the friends falling out of the woodwork that I was talking about at all, and it is never going to be an issue for you to pop in and visit me. Please come back again. I would absolutely love that. But no, I'm talking about an entirely different group of people that I hung out with in high school. That I now look at each of their lives and it's like, holy shit! I'm so glad I got out of this town.
Wow.
And they've got their poop in a group again, but they went through as adults some things that were just worse than I endured as a kid. So,
maybe the universe is just showing you that it could, some people have it worse, because you've been through a lot the last couple of years. Yeah. So it's just showing you, Yeah.
That's very, very possible. Yes. There's other warnings, if you will, in all of it, which I don't really want to go into, but
that's fine.
But yeah, Tracy, that comment had nothing to do with you. I would receive you as a visitor at any day, time, or reason.
There you go.
Especially if you bring chocolate.
Oh no, she's like, no, it has nothing to do with that. See her response.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Damaris doesn't get to see.
I can't see it. Yeah, no.
Oh, yeah.
No,
Tracy was talking about the bad marriage thing. So if she's ever planning to get married and she's like coming up to Mercury retrograde or whatever,
oh, don't worry,
the 3 of us will tackle you, hon. We will be like,
yeah, so we definitely should look at those dates when we're looking to get married. We should look when the retrograde is happening because it just creates chaos. And also sometimes the bride becomes bridezilla during those times too. She wants things the way she wants it. I've seen that too during retrogrades.
Yeah.
So it's just a rough, turbulent, energy,
Yeah.
especially to
Well,
get married.
no signing of contracts, and that's what marriages
Yes.
are.
It is.
They,
It's a contract.
you know,
Yeah.
Yes.
yes, they are
absolutely.
contracts to further the enterprise of families. Like
Yes.
running a family is a business. People
Oh.
don't tend to look at it that way.
Yeah. No,
Yes.
and it's a partnership.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's not a 50-50 partnership. A successful marriage is 150% each person.
Each person.
Yeah.
Because sometimes only one person can be 100%. And that other person has to kick that 150 up to 200%. And I know it doesn't make sense, but yeah.
Also, Libra rules marriages because it rules partnerships.
Yeah.
So, and that's what we're working on during these weeks.
Yes.
The next 11 days are going to be a little rough individually or collectively because of those, that energy.
Yeah.
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 What? I can't see.
Yes. Yes.
Game on.
I'm looking forward to it. Next time, bring Mama Crone.
Yes.
Or are you coming here to get away from Mama Crone for a little while? You getting on
No,
Mama Crone's nerve?
No.
Anyways. All right, my dear Krista, are you ready to tell us all about this Mookite?
I am ready to talk about Mookite.
Okay,
This is going to be fun.
First. Okay, now we can talk to Krista. There we go. Gotcha. Gotcha.
All right, there you guys caught me. It's okay. I like to dance, and I don't mind being caught. So, Mookite. I do love Mookite. If you've never worked with it, it's a very accessible stone. I highly recommend getting some. And I'm not sure, but I think my friend Miranda, who's the owner of the Dragon's Den and Treasure in Fredericksburg, Virginia, you can look her up. I think she has some in stock. If not, I'm sure she'll get it if you request it.
And when you go looking for it, this is what you're going to look for.
Yes. It is a fantastic stone. It is very grounding. It is one of those stones that you feel yummy.
Yummy.
It's just yummy. You just kind of, because it's very gentle, you hold it in your hand and you feel like you're home. Right? That comfort. It's kind of like walking into grandma's kitchen and chocolate chip cookies are baking. Okay. Chocolate chip cookies, do it for me. I don't know what does it for all of you. Although my grandmother.
Sometimes it's apple pie.
I love apple pie too.
Yeah, I love apple pie.
Yeah, I could.
We're going into the season for it.
I know. Isn't that amazing? I know. I'm so excited. But so it has that warm, yummy, at-home feeling. It's very gentle, very grounding. And we're talking about this energy that is, very flip-floppy or flowful for Gayle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so remember, currents don't always, go in and out with ease. There are rocks in the way, so it gets a little bumpy as it goes in, and it can get just as bumpy as it goes out. But the energy still flows back and forth. It's kind of like the 8, the figure 8. Flip it on its side, it's the infinity symbol. So if you're working with a Mookite, or the energy that it's trying to talk with us is about grounding, but it's also about letting go of fear, which is one of those things that I don't know how it is affecting you guys with the Mercury retrograde. I find that, I don't want to say past traumas, but people that I've been talking to who have been dealing with past traumas,
Wow,
they're finding that that's coming up. And you
Yes.
need to don't get caught in the fear of the past trauma. Kind of flow with the past trauma, let it, and remember, Mookaite will help us with that, because
I
it
like
keeps
that.
us grounded in the present. It keeps us here right now, rather than the past trauma is about it's done, it's dusted,
I want
it's
to
in
talk
the
about
past.
that for a minute.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
when I was 4 years old, I was in a car accident, a near fatal car accident. The
Mhm.
car that I was in went underneath a tractor trailer, and I
Oh,
was I was in a coma actually. And so when I was driving home, and I was telling you, Krista, earlier before we started the show, I am so afraid of tractor trailers, and it's because of that trauma. And so just what you're saying, I was experiencing, the trauma from the past as we were
yeah,
driving home, 16-hour drive, and all you see is these trucks.
yeah.
And I'm going to tell you something. I had to put on some oils, essential oils, and it was really hard for me. So I'm not over that trauma. I got to work on it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And some traumas, and here's something to also kind of bring up for everybody, is some traumas that we are dealing with aren't ours. They're hereditary. They're what you call a lineage trauma.
Yes.
And so it's part of our DNA.
Mhm.
So it came from your ancestors. And so, have you ever had something come up and you're like, why is this? It makes no sense. Well, what you're doing is you're processing something that has just come along in your DNA structure.
Yeah.
And so, again, Mookaite, because it's a crystal that a jasper that kind of it really anchors you in place. You
I like
feel
it.
like that you're really grounded and supported. Some crystals, like obsidians, they ground you and you just feel like a great oak and you're not moving, or you feel like a mountain and you're not moving. And that's a really that can be really helpful. However, when you're dealing with or working with a crystal such as the Mookaite, you want to have the energy so that it helps to move up and down your chakra, your energy center. And because Mookaite is that beautiful, I mean, it's like a raspberry,
Mm.
earthy red color. I say raspberry because it's not a strawberry red, it's a deeper red, maybe a cherry red, a Bing cherry red. And then it has this creamy yellow to it. It's very, it also, it helps the root chakra, and the sacral chakra, work together. And remember, your sacral chakra, not your sacral, your solar plexus. And your solar plexus is your powerhouse. That's where your energy comes from. So it really helps everybody to to connect and flow through this energy. So right before I turn this over to Gayle, I want to do an exercise. Do you guys want to do an exercise with me real quick?
Yep.
Okay. All right. We're going to use, because 8 is our number, and I just love 8, and we all need to have some release here. We're going to do the figure 8 over our eyes, and you can take your glasses off or you can leave them on. All you're doing is doing a figure 8 over your eyes, and you're releasing the energy. You're getting some flow. You're getting clarity. You're getting connection. And when you feel like you need a yawn, you're back in balance. You guys feeling really, really good here? Yeah, that's really good. Take a big, deep cleansing breath. Let's bring our arms up. And down into prayer. exhale. You guys feel a little more centered?
Yes. I needed that yesterday.
Okay. Well, if I had known, I would have reminded you. But yeah, so in any case, that's what I have to say for Mookaite. I just love the stone.
Never even heard of it before.
Mookaite it's from Australia, and it's also connected to the planet Jupiter, which is about expansion. Yes.
Awesome stuff.
It is. It's a great stone. I absolutely love it. And I was introduced.
Does Mama Crone have it?
I don't know. And I don't know if she's on today. I didn't see her. I saw her briefly on, but I think she had to pop off. But yeah. I don't know if she has any Mookaite in terms of jewelry. Reach out to Retail shopping therapy with Sue at Classic.
Retail therapy with Sue and CAI. Classic Act Imports.
There you go.
Yippers.
Yeah.
So how did just fill everybody in, generally speaking, how our Moon and Woo Patreon went on Monday this week?
It went really well. So we only had one person because we only have one Amethyst member. But it was really good. And it was one-on-one with me. And but Gayle had shared insight that she wanted shared. So really and truly what you shared, Gayle, is how we approach Moon and Woo.
Okay,
and it
was I did that research.
Well, and you could tell that it spoke from your heart, what you had written. And so it was really kind of a cool way to do Moon and Woo. And then because it's the new moon, we talked about ways of setting our intentions, because you're going into new moon, but you also are going into the new moon with the energy of fall equinox, which is Thursday the 22nd.
Yeah.
And that is that's really remarkable energy. So
and the sun goes into Libra too on the 22nd.
And there you go. And it goes into Libra. So there's all this wonderful energy that will be associated with this particular new moon. And so that's what we were discussing. And it was great. It was fabulous.
Good.
I would love to have more at our next moon, Moon and Woo.
Same here. So for anybody who would like to join the Coven of Joy at the Amethyst level and become part of that Moon and Woo, this is how you can do it. You can visit patreon.com/3 Crones and the Woo Woo and choose your level. And I promise for you, it won't be in Spanish or Mexican or Italian or whatever the heck it was. You know what? After I saw, because this is what happened to me the other day when I went in to do this. My Patreon page is showing to me in a Romance language. I'm not sure if it was Spanish or if it was Italian after the fact, because the only other Patreon group that I've ever supported was a group that was an American, but they were living in Italy at the time. So I wonder if the settings for my Patreon got confused about where I was at and was showing me Italian stuff. Because it was I don't understand those words. I understand Spanish a little more than I understand.
Similar. The written word. It's similar, Spanish and Italian, because I kind of saw it and it seemed Spanish to me, but could have been Italian.
Exactly.
So I did check it just as an FYI, and it was all in English. I made sure Dutch wasn't on. I made sure Greek wasn't on. Because my computer travels with me, so I try to make sure everything stays in English.
Thank you for the adventure, Mercury retrograde.
We're just, again, you have to laugh and flow with it.
Yeah. And it's funny, if you were to watch these shows like full year, whatever, you can tell by our shows which ones are happening during Mercury retrograde, even if we don't mention it, because there's just snafus and stuff shows up. It's so funny. So weird. All righty. So let's talk. Making decisions flexible. See, here's the thing. And I'm kind of like giving all of you guys these weird topics lately. Like the last time, it's like, yeah, you can't do that. Well, same thing here. Making decisions flexible. If you understand how words work, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Because when you make a decision, right, you decide something, you cut something off as a possibility, right? You kill that side, CIDE, you kill it as a possibility, right? And so when you decide something, you choose one option and you kill off all other options as a possibility from there on. Okay. So that's not very flexible, is it? And you kind of feel like, you know, if I make a decision on this, I'll never be able to choose again. And that's kind of true. That's why I encourage everyone to make choices, not decisions. Okay. Because choices, you can make a choice one day to wear a black shirt and the next day to wear a white shirt. It's just a choice, right? But when you decide to wear black shirts every day, you become, what's his name? Apple's founder, right? Or Mark Zuckerberg. Black t-shirt, blue jeans every day, you know? And it simplifies things, but it doesn't make things flexible. And that's what we're trying to do, is make things more flexible.
Black closes you off, just as an FYI. It's one of those colors that just kind of shuts you off. It makes you unapproachable.
Which is why I wear it. It protects me from other people's negativity, because as an empath, I soak it up. Fuck all you people. Get away.
Just wear labradorite. It keeps you, it allows you to at least be approachable.
Yes.
Maybe she doesn't want to be approached during this time.
I really don't.
Well,
you
right
don't
now,
know
I
what's
can
been approaching
appreciate
me, Krista. You don't know what's been approaching me, okay? Or who's been approaching me. Yeah. When I am fully like out there, like the disco ball that I am, you know, oh my goodness, it attracts all of the moths. And what do moths do? They chew at the fabric of you. No, thank you. So I'm not, trust me, that I will be that again. But right now I'm going through a very black phase. What?
I didn't hear what she said either.
I just burned them up.
I
said you're talking about the moths chewing. Yeah. I burned them up. Yep. My light is just so bright.
Yeah. Well, you've also got a very, very highly ranked military person at your side. So there's
that doesn't always help.
Protection there, you know. Yeah, you're the one that protects him half the time.
That doesn't always help, but yes.
Anyways, no. So getting back to the topic of today, making those decisions flexible. Just know that when you choose something, as opposed to deciding something, right, that you can be more flexible with those things. All right, with whatever it is that is in front of you to choose. All right. Now, that's not to say that you're not going to have some time. Thank you, Tracy Paquin. Steve Jobs is the name that I was trying to think of. That you're not going to have some times when you truly do want to make a decision, right? Like when people in 12 Step are talking about stopping drinking, right? We made a decision to, and I can't recall the quote right now. Something else is running through my head that I don't want to talk about. We'll talk about that later, okay? But that's the kind of decision that you want to make, because you don't want it to be flexible. You don't want it written in sand. You want it written in stone. I decided to not kill myself slowly this way anymore, right?
Yep.
Those are the the decisions that you want to make as decisions, because they're not flexible, right?
Yes.
But when you have choices to make in life, even the big ones, we lock ourselves into a corner, if you will, thinking, I don't want to make a decision about this, right? Because you don't trust that that's going to carry you through the end of days, right? You might want to do something different again, right? So choose choices. You can choose this today, and tomorrow, if it no longer fits, you can choose something else. Even in love, don't make a decision. Choose, right? Choose to love your love today, and choose again tomorrow, right?
I love that. I love that. And actually, that is exactly that energy, Gayle, with the Mercury retrograde. It's not about making those firm decisions right now. It's about choices, perhaps.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Allison, I got to share this from Allison. All the Mercury retrograde episodes don't end up making it to a recording.
Oh my goodness, we didn't realize that.
Yeah.
I was like, good observation.
Wow.
Yep. Excellent.
I didn't even realize that.
Yeah.
Thanks, Allison.
It's absolutely perfect. So let's talk a little bit about the card today, because this, of course, always leads in. And today's card is
the
Empress.
Empress.
Yes. So the Empress energy is all about that mothering, nurturing energy, right? Yeah. The queen on the throne, as it were, right? That simply bestows a loving glance, and things are nurtured and grow and come to their fullness. And she doesn't have to say a word, and she doesn't have to lift a finger. All she has to do is alight her attention on something, and that something will grow and flourish. All right. So when we're talking about even the Mercury retrograde, now is the time to notice what you do want to grow and flourish, and to take our attention away from that which we no longer wish were growing and flourishing in our lives, and being flexible in those choices that we're making, that I don't want any more of this today, but I want more of that today, right? And seeing how that goes. Right. And making no firm decisions, signing no contracts, making no oaths, making no vows or commitments right now. Yes. But simply taking an assessment, a view of our lives, and sending energetic love to those areas that we want to see prosper as everything unfolds. And then once this is over with, and once we're out of the shadow phase of this, right around mid-October, then is the time to, dig in, to set our heels, and to make actual decisions. I noticed that this happier, so I'm going to decide to do more of this. I noticed that this doesn't bring me joy, so I'm going to allow that to flow away out of my life, and so on. And literally, it does not take effort. It does not take magic words. It takes your attention and your lack of attention that will feed and support all of those things that come into your life and flow out of it. All right. So that's essentially the Empress energy today. Allowing those things that we truly want to have more of, noticing them, appreciating them, and allowing them space to grow, while allowing all of those other things that have brought us pain, that have brought us confusion, that have brought us a lack of confidence and care for ourselves, to be blown away like the fall leaves.
Yeah. It's also like aborting the mission, right? If it's not a worthy mission, you abort it.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. And that's a really, really great analogy, because we've seen what happens when for example, with the Space Shuttle Challenger, they knew months in advance that the O-rings were compromised.
Yep.
And they chose to move forward anyway. And you can see the disastrous results when you get the knowledge and understanding that something is faulty in your life, or something is not working or will fail in your life, and you move forward through it instead anyway. Don't get attached to, oh, it's got to go on a certain date, or it's got to look a certain way, or whatever. Take stock of the intuitions and the wisdom that's given to you. And don't be afraid to abort the mission if that's what is the proper thing to do.
Exactly.
The right thing to do.
I mean, with that, it had dire consequences.
Yeah.
And it frequently does. So if you don't say something, if you see something wrong and you don't say something, you take on that onerous. Essentially, you take on that karmic debt.
Yeah.
So there's a way to look at it as well. Now that's a whole conversation we could have.
That's the whole show.
Yeah, absolutely.
About how our choices, allow us to take on karmic debt or not to take on karmic debt.
Yes.
That's
a
the
great
choice.
Yep.
That's a great way of looking at it,
It is. Yeah. It is. I'm going to write that down. Maybe we need to do an extra.
Yeah, we could do that. Could be one of the classes for the Patreon levels.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. All right. So let's say congratulations today to this week's Woo Woo giveaway winner, Miss Donna Waring. Thank you so much for being part of Crones and the Woo Woo. All you have to do is reach out to one of us to receive your gift. Now, for those of you who don't know how this works, every week we give away a reading with one of us 3 Crones. So if you choose me, that will be an intuitive tarot reading. If you choose Krista, that will be a crystal reading. And if you choose Damaris, then that will be a numerology reading. And all you have to do is slide into our DMs and go, hey, I picked you. When do you have available for me? And we'll put you right on the schedule.
That's right.
Donna, congratulations. We'll be waiting for you to reach out to one of us to collect your prize.
And just as a reminder, since we're talking about it, all 3 of us do readings, not just for prizes. You can actually schedule a reading for a, donation amount, and we'll happily put you on our books that way too, especially if you have things that are coming up, pertaining to retrograde, maybe pertaining to an event coming up, and you want to make sure there isn't going to be a retrograde.
Yep.
And
Tamara Collins is like, I still need to schedule with you, Gayle. Yes, you're right, you do. Anytime you're ready, my dear, but you got to get on my schedule in advance because, man, I'm getting busy. I'm getting really busy, and I want to make sure that you get yours as soon as you can. Awesome stuff. All right, what else? There was something else that I was going to chat about for a second there.
Tracy's asking again, when is Mercury retrograde? When does it end?
It ends of the shadow phase around October 17th, but it actually goes direct October 2nd. But we still feel the remnants of it after the 2nd. Not so heavy energy, just like, like a shadow phase, if you will.
Yeah. So awesome. Well, let me think if there's anything else that we need to cover right now. We're actually a little bit early, which is awesome.
Oh, and
what are we doing on the stick? What, sweetheart? What?
I was going to say for Tracy that it goes into retrograde almost like every 3 months. We have a retrograde phase, like every 3 months.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I wonder each season has a retrograde. It's just a matter of where.
Exactly. Exactly.
Right. Awesome. Hold on a second.
She wants more stickers.
On the stickers front.
Okay, so we have packets, and what I'm going to do, I had a scathingly brilliant idea while I was, basking in the sun in Greece. And I've just created a new holographic sticker.
Ooh, can we see? Or you don't know yet? You don't have it?
I don't have it. I created it.
No, I thought you could show us a picture, an image or something.
So it's going to be our logo. So the actual logo, which we don't have up tonight, but our actual logo, and I'm creating that as a holographic. And yes, and the magnets. I don't know who's excited about getting a refrigerator magnet 5x7. I'm going to be putting those on pre-sale. I need to do that. Those who are Patreons, it's $9. And those who are not Patreon members, it's $11.
And that's with all the crystals for the whole year.
That is all the crystals for 2023.
Perfect.
Awesome.
And it's a beautiful magnet. I will put up I'll put it up, but I'm going to blur it out a little bit so you don't know what all the crystals are. How awesome. Just because I think I got a magnet with all the retrogrades. It has all this witchy stuff on it, and I really appreciate that being on my refrigerator because I look at it frequently. I go and I double check
one as well.
I could make one, and if we want one of those as well, the price will be the same. $9 for the Patreon. I can do that as well.
Yeah.
And
awesome.
So, and you guys can pre-order both of them.
It's on their fridge.
Yes.
And make decisions based off those.
Based off of it for the whole 2023.
Yeah.
So let me write that down, and I will work on that.
Great idea.
Mm-hmm. Yes, agreed. Mm-hmm. All right.
Okay.
And if there's any items that you guys out there in our audience would like to see, let us know.
Yeah.
Because Krista loves putting those things together.
Yeah.
I seem to really enjoy it.
You're very good at it too, though. You're very good at it.
Yes, you are.
It allows my artistic, creative side to come out.
Yes, we love it. We absolutely
so that I'm not always being caught in my head. So there you go.
Awesome. All right, everyone. Well, thank you so much for tuning in another week. I have some thoughts about going forward as far as if we should just broadcast to YouTube as it is and then post to Facebook later. So if you have an opinion on that, please, let us know. We're just getting more and more hiccups, as you can see with Facebook. Like, for example, the fact that we can see all of your comments from the 2 Facebook groups, but we can't respond to them from StreamYard and so on. So, things are changing worldwide. We may not, be one of those groups that's out there, clanging the bells and going, watch your asses, but that's also good advice. And so we definitely want to make sure that we're still able to be in communication with all of you through all of this, and serve you with the information that we feel would best serve you to make your own decisions in life going forward, no matter what is happening around you. We love you very, very much. We want you whole, happy, and well. And thank you again for being part of our Coven of Joy. Have a great week.